Hey, what's up guys, it's Card Shuffler 99 here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a really cool card trick. This one I actually managed to fool Penn and Teller. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Now guys, don't forget to enter into the giveaway. We're giving away a $50 Amazon gift card and 12 Monarch decks of cards by Theory 11. If you want to enter, just like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment something in the comment section below, and make sure you have that post notification bell turned on. One more time, we do have a link in the description to our Amazon affiliate link. If you guys want to purchase anything on Amazon, if you want to sign up for a free trial of Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime, anything like that, go check out our link down in the description. Anyway, let's get straight into we're going to try to play a little game of follow the leader, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this deck here, and everything I do with my deck of cards, I want you to replicate.
Sure.
We're going to start out. Go ahead, just show the backs of the cards. Perfect. Now go ahead, you can show the faces as well. Awesome. Right, we're going to go here. We can just give the deck a quick little shuffle. Make sure you always got to shuffle the deck.
Of course.
Go ahead, place down a portion of cards.
Portion? Okay.
Yep.
That good?
And yeah, let's place down another portion of cards.
Sure.
I'm going to take my card. I'm going to place it on your deck. Go ahead, do the same. And then we can end off by placing the cards on top. Perfect, Robert. This is what we're going to do. Go ahead, place your deck down for me. Now, Robert, let's backtrack a little bit and let's make sure everything's fair. So we started off, we showed all the backs, right? Everything was fair. We showed all the faces. Everything was fair. Had you shuffle the deck, I shuffled the deck as well. Placed down a portion of cards. You could have placed the portion down anywhere you wanted. You placed a card in my deck. I placed a card in your deck. Here, let's go ahead and take a look here. So you can see there's the card right there. And then there's my card right there. Robert, go ahead and show me what card did I place in your deck?
The 7 of hearts.
The 7 of hearts. Now, Robert, if this trick worked correctly, you too would have placed the 7 of hearts. All right, guys, that is the trick. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And let's get straight into this tutorial. So this is actually a very cool trick. This is actually one of my favorite card tricks out there because it is just that simple. There's not a lot that goes into this one. But at the same time, it's a really, really powerful effect that you guys should enjoy a lot. So let's get into how to do it. What are you going to need in order to do this trick? Well, first off, you will need 2 decks of cards, and not preferably actually, you will need 2 decks of different color. So in this case, we got red and blue. You're going to need a set of duplicates of different color. Obviously, you should just have that with 2 different color decks. So in this case, we're going to play with the 7 of hearts. And then other than that, you're just going to take 2 random cards out of the deck. So these 4 cards here are my setup cards. So these are going to be the cards that I'm going to manipulate before the trick to accomplish the end result. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to use the blue deck for my performance. So if I'm using the blue deck, then all the setup cards here should be blue with the exception of the 1 duplicate. Okay? So once you have all these cards out, you should be set. What you're going to need to do is take 1 of the blue cards, and you're going to take it, and I'm going to crimp it. Now, there's a couple ways you can go about crimping a card. One way, and the way I did in the video, just the simplest way, is to bend the card just like so. Now, this is going to create a little loop right there, okay? So it's going to make a little crease in the card, and that's called a crimp card. Now, what this is going to do is if I place this card somewhere in the deck, what happens is it'll allow me to, when I lift up actually on the break that it creates, right? It's going to create a little break, and if I lift up somewhere in the middle of the deck, it's going to allow me to lift up to this break every time. So that's going to be important right there. You're going to need a crimp card. Now, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can do this crimp. You could actually do something known as a breather crimp. Let me explain what a breather crimp is. Basically, what you do is you're going to start with your thumbs in the middle. You're going to use your index finger and your middle finger on both hands, and you're just going to crease the card from the middle out on both ends. Now, this is going to be known as a breather crimp, okay? You can do this. And basically what you're doing is you're just creasing the card in a weird or select way that's going to make it so you can lift up on it every time you lift up on the deck. So that's known as a breather crimp. And the final solution that you guys can do is you can take a card. Don't recommend it, but you could do this. You can basically just cut the card short. So cut a little bit of the top of the card off. And what that'll do is because the card is shorter than the rest of the deck, it'll allow you to lift up on it every time. But for this purpose, I'm just going to use a little simple crimp. Just the simplest thing to do. From there, you're going to take a random card out of the blue deck. And what you're going to need is some double-sided tape right here. So I'm going to take this double-sided tape, put a little piece on the bottom of the card. I'll explain why later. I just prefer it to be on the bottom. You can put it in the middle, anywhere you want. And I'm going to explain a little bit as to why you're going to put the double-sided tape in a specific spot. And then from there, you guys can figure out the best spot for you, because depending on how big your hand is, where you like to put your hands when you're handling your cards, all that kind of stuff is going to matter as to where you want to put that piece of tape. So after that, that's pretty much your entire setup. Just take these two cards. These are not manipulated at all. Now keep in mind that the spectator's deck of cards, nothing is going to happen in this deck. There's no setup into this deck right here. The setup all takes place in the magician's deck of cards. So this is going to be happening in my deck of cards, right? So what you're going to do in terms of starting the setup is you're going to start out by taking the 7 of hearts from the opposite color deck, placing that on the bottom. So I'm going to place that on the bottom of the deck. Follow that by the card with the double-sided tape on it. So these two cards are on the bottom. So once again, I have the opposite color duplicate as well as the double-stick tape card. And again, the tape is right there at the bottom. From there, what you're going to do is you're going to place in your crimp card. Actually, not yet. My bad. You're going to place in the 7 of hearts. Now, this is going to be the matching 7. Somewhere 10 to 15 cards from the bottom. So I'll place that in right there. Follow that card by the crimp card. Make sure it's crimped properly. Follow that by the crimp. So this is going to go in right on top. And that's your entire setup. So the majority of the setup is actually taking place in the bottom portion of the deck. Other than that, you can set that down on the table. Everything else is set to go. So from here, all you're going to have to do is basically start the trick, and you're going to explain to the spectator that you're doing a follow the leader trick, meaning they're going to follow every little step you make. So you're going to hand them the deck. They're going to use it. What you're going to do is you're going to start out by showing the backs of the cards. Now, you're going to show the backs. I don't spread to the bottom, obviously, because you don't want to flash that card. So just spread, show the cards, and you're done. Have them spread. They can show the cards. There's nothing wrong with that. Now you're going to flip it over, and this is why I like to place it at the bottom, because when I spread the deck out, I like to have my thumb at the bottom. What this is going to allow is I can actually put my thumb on the double-sided tape, so when I spread, they can't see the tape. Some people, if you like to spread with your thumb up here, that's fine. Just put the tape somewhere here. If you're somewhere in the middle, then put the tape in the middle and just spread. Okay? That's really all you have to do. You show that right there. Now, what you have to do is you're not doing a false shuffle, but you're doing a false shuffle of sorts. What I mean by this is I'm going to basically do an overhand shuffle without altering the bottom portion of the deck. So every card from the breather crimp down needs to stay on the bottom in the same exact position. Okay? So the way I do this is I'm going to put my fingers here. I'm going to rub them on the side of the deck. And as I pull down for my overhand shuffle, I'm going to pull this top card over. Okay, I'm going to pull like a few cards from the top. But what I'm doing here is I'm grabbing this whole portion of cards at the bottom, okay? So everything from the breather crimp down is coming with me. Just grab a large portion of cards just like that, you can see. You're going to shuffle that right off. So that's going to be your first shuffle. You can see here, the breather crimp and all the cards below it are still there. And then you can freely shuffle these right on top of the deck, right? This is not like these cards right here are not actually part of the setup, right? The entire setup's at the bottom. So you can see here everything from the breather crimp down is still at the bottom. So it's a fake overhand shuffle of sorts, but you're not actually fake shuffling. They'll do that as well. What you're going to do from here is you're going to set a portion of cards down. So set a portion down. They're going to set a portion down. Now you're going to lift up to the breather crimp. What this allows me to do is it's going to lift up to the first duplicate. So I'm going to set that down. They'll set another one down. So basically what that crimp allowed me to do is lift up to this. So bam, I'm forcing the 7 of hearts on them. They're putting a random card down. It doesn't matter what card they put down. What happens here is you have to understand the double-sided tape card is on the bottom, right? Meaning this double stick tape is going to stick to their card, making this card disappear from the deck, sort of, right? And the only red card left would be this one. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to set this down. They'll set this down. What happens is the double stick tape is going to stick to the card they put in. Make sure you put pressure. So the only card left is going to be my 4-7 of hearts, because right underneath the 7 is going to be their original card stuck to the card with double-sided tape. So from there you can spread out, show the card, 7 of hearts. Same thing here, show the card, 7 of hearts, and you guys are done. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Great trick. Won that full Penn and Teller. And anyway, this card shuffler 99. Peace out.